going on, everybody? I am the Entertainist. Welcome back. So, The Mandalorian Season 2 is over. I'm still processing it. I watched the season finale last night, and, I wanted to wait till the entire season was done to talk about this. I haven't talked about this show yet on my channel. I've briefly said some things here and there about it, but never really went a full-depth review. I was thinking about talking about each episode as it was coming out, but honestly, you guys know how I am with this channel. I'm not the most consistent, so I thought it'd be better to watch it all and just to process it all and then talk about it all together as a full season. Right off the bat, I just want to say that I am blown away by this entire season. This entire season was just so exciting. Every single episode was really good. Sure, some episodes were more quote-unquote filler, but they were still enjoyable to watch overall to see the adventures of the Mandalorian and the child. I thought this season was a lot better than the first one too, and I'm sure most of us feel that way. The first season was a great start off, a great kickoff to Disney Plus, a Star Wars TV show, and a live-action Star Wars TV show for that matter, and just more into the Star Wars universe. And the first season was a great side story. It was a great alright, we're going to focus on this guy. It's not really going to be connected anything too much Star Wars related. And this season started to tie into a lot of stuff, and it was way more exciting. It really was. It was very intense. The storyline was great. The pacing of each episode was amazing. And everything, just the production design for this show, it's just truly breathtaking. By the way, I am going to get into spoilers, obviously, since I'm talking about the season. I'm not going to dive deep into every single episode, just major things for me. And I'm sure you guys know what some of the things I'm going to talk about are. Right off the bat, the season premiere, fucking awesome. I literally cheered throughout most of that. And it was just a great start. We were all ready for more Mandalorian and Baby Yoda and just seeing their adventure together. The father-son relationship between the two. And how, those little guys were about to fucking, slit Baby Yoda's throat, and he was like, if you touch him, I swear, I will hunt you down, I'll kill you. He, pulled, a Liam Neeson on him. When we met the Marshal in the Boba Fett suit, for a second I was like, wait, is this Boba Fett? And then he took off the helmet and started talking, I'm like, I don't think this is him. And it wasn't, sure enough. I like that character overall, though, that Marshal guy. I wish we saw more of him, but, it was fine for what it was. When they had to go fight that big creature on Tatooine, and he had to help him, so in order for that, he could get the Boba Fett suit back, because he's like, this is Mandalorian armor, it belongs to me, it doesn't belong to you, you're not part of the code. And then for a second, yeah, they made it seem like that Mando died. No, he didn't. I knew he didn't. It was a great premiere, and then we see Boba Fett at the very end. I was like, holy shit, we're starting to tie into the real stuff. I do want to talk about episode 2 just for a little bit, for the whole fact that we had this whole controversy that Baby Yoda is eating these eggs. And we're like, oh my god, he's a villain. He's going to turn to the dark side. And I'm like, no. A lot of people got really butthurt about that. I'm sorry for whoever's watching this who felt that way, but you're getting mad about a fictional character eating an egg of fictional species in this fictional world. It's not real. It's dark humor. That's what it was. It's fine. It was meant for you to laugh at. I at first thought, I was like, huh, okay, well, yeah. Yeah, it was a little dark, but it didn't piss me off. It didn't make me think oh my god, Baby Yoda's bad. No, he's a little kid. He's a baby. Even that episode, I know that was more of a filler episode, but because of how great episode 1 was, we kind of need some filler episodes here and there. In episode 3, when we were introduced to Bo-Katan, now, I know more about Ahsoka than I do about Bo-Katan. I don't really know anything about her, so I'm not going to pretend like I do. I've never seen the Clone Wars, and I've never seen Rebels. I know that she's a Mandalorian. That much I know. I had some people explain it to me. And I don't know a single thing about her. There's more going on for Ahsoka, that's why I know more about her. But Bo-Katan, like, when she showed up, I'm sure a lot of people are like, holy shit, now we're starting to tie into this aspect of Star Wars. I was just like, who's this? I loved her character in this season, though. I think she's really good, and I could see where her story's very important. I'm gonna jump to episode 5. Episode 5, when we met Ahsoka. Because I knew who Ahsoka was, I know who she is as the basics. I've talked about it in my Disney videos recently when they were announcing a bunch of stuff. So I know the basics of what there is about Ahsoka. And Rosario Dawson did an awesome job portraying her. I loved what I saw of her from that episode, and that was definitely the most important episode of that season. Because we got to tie her into it. She's a very important character to Star Wars. And like I said, just from what I know of her, like, I haven't even seen the Clone Wars, and I know she's an important character. And she had a big relationship with Anakin because she was his Padawan, and then saw her trainer go to the dark side. Probably not easy for her. So when she met, I can call him this now because we're at this point in the episode, when she met Grogu, the child, she knew there was something good in him and that he was strong with the Force. And I just loved that this is where we were going. I love that we got to learn his name and where he came from. Definitely is a survivor of Order 66. Like, I mean, they didn't really have to say that for us to know that he was a part of that, because Grogu's 50 years old. So yeah, he's older than fucking Mandalorian, for God's sakes. So it was great seeing this story arc exist, because this is showing that the Mandalorian is a very important part in the Star Wars universe, and that we're getting to something good. And then, you know, she told them to go to the Rock, and that there will be a Jedi looking for him, and this is just when it gets more exciting and exciting. I love the episode every step of the way, and when he was able to get the Beskar staff, that was awesome. The fight between that one woman and Ahsoka versus the Mandalorian versus, like, the guard, it was just epic. It really was. And I was so drawn into learning about Grogu and his backstory. And, you know, it seems like that's not done yet until we get to... Before I get to... I know what you guys want me to talk about. We're getting there. I do have to talk about Boba Fett's return, because there was a little bit where I was like, we have not seen Boba Fett for a while. They literally just teased him for the first episode, and where the hell's he been this whole time? Then he shows up. The episode when Mandalorian takes Grogu to the rocks so he can, you know, communicate with a Jedi in a sense, and Boba Fett shows up and he just wants the armor, and he's like, and then Mandalorian eventually gave in and gave it to him. As I'm glad they didn't. I was worried about that. I'm like, are they going to be enemies or are they going to be allies? I kind of want to see both, because Boba Fett's known as a villain. But I'm glad that they were allies. Although, the part when Moff Gideon shows back up, and Boba Fett was shooting at the stormtrooper ships, and then was like, I wasn't aiming for that one. And then we saw Mandalorian ship blew up. I thought it was Boba Fett that did that. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So we're going to make him a hateable character, but no, it turned out to be Moff Gideon. And I love Boba Fett so far. I think he's great in this. He's a badass. He's what, you know, we wanted. This is what Star Wars fans wanted. To see Boba Fett in action. I mean, like, you know, for such a beloved character, he did not have a big part at all in the original trilogy. When I was rewatching it leading up to Rise of Skywalker, when that came out last year, I was watching the entire fucking saga. And I was thinking to myself, because it's been a while since I saw them, and I was like, people are obsessed with Boba Fett, yet he doesn't really do much. I mean, yeah, he's cool. He's like, you know, ooh, he's got all these different gadgets, and his armor's awesome, but we don't really see him do much. I'm really glad that they made him live, and he survived all that, and, you know, this is what the character deserved, I believe, and we all kind of deserve to see. Disney, that's how you fucking do fan service. Remember that. Take notes. And then Grogu got kidnapped. That wasn't easy. I love Grogu. As we all do. I mean, I'm not the only one. I fucking love Grogu. He's adorable. He's funny. He's literally the heart and soul for that show. And I just knew. I was like, this is the safest character. Mandalorian has more of a chance of dying in his own show than them killing Grogu off. that is Disney's suicide. Giancarlo Esposito, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. That guy's awesome at playing villains. I mean, he's fucking Gus Fring in Breaking Bad, and he's great in that. He's about to be the villain in Far Cry 6, and he's Moff Gideon, and he's great as Gus and Moff Gideon. I mean, this guy's meant to play villains, and he does a great job at it. He's very menacing and intimidating. And, you know, I'm not gonna lie, this is one little flaw I have with this show, with this season 2. And, you know, it's just a very minor flaw. It might come off as a little nitpicky. I feel like the stakes aren't super high. Now, I know this isn't Game of Thrones, and it's like, well, let's kill main characters off. No, it's not supposed to be that. Children are watching this. It's a Disney show. But, you know, we see stormtroopers getting shot left and right. I mean, it's an action-packed show. So, in a way, it is for kids, but it's not for kids. And anytime Mando gets caught up in some situation, you just know that he's going to get out of it. I mean, yeah, he's the main character, but it just feels like it started becoming a formula a little bit, that anytime there's some situation, it's like, all right, well, there's going to be something to save all this. So that's the minor flaw I had, that I felt like the stakes weren't super high. All right, guys, we could talk about the finale now. The finale was some of the best shit that I've ever seen in Star Wars. I felt like a child again watching it. That finally, Disney is starting to listen to their fans. Or, you know, not even Disney. It's Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. I have to say something about those two. As I know we're all saying this. I mean, I'm looking through comments. After this episode, I just started watching, like, little reviews on The Mandalorian Season 2 and breakdowns of what could happen. I know I'm getting off track, but, you know, my mind's going in a million different directions right now. And, you know, I just want to take this time and thank Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni for, you know, listening to Star Wars fans, giving them what they want, yet not doing it into a way to where it feels forced and cheesy. I know some people might feel that way, and I understand, but, you know, this is how you're supposed to do it. This is how you do fan service. The Marvel writers understand that. With Endgame and Infinity War, they understand how to do, they understand how to execute fan service to where it doesn't come off as cheesy. It doesn't come off as forced. It doesn't come off as corny or lazy. No, it's done right. And it makes the story more impactful and to where we want to see this go. And you guys know what the hell I'm talking about. But, you know, I want to break down the finale a little bit because I'm at this point now. I thought, you know, once again, stakes weren't high enough at first, but, you know, I was like, I'm brushing it off my shoulder because this is awesome already. When they go into the Moff Gideon's Imperial ship. And I expected a little bit more of a fight. It was cool that we got a little bit of something between Mandalorian and Moff Gideon of the Darksaber versus the Bexar staff. That was kind of cool, and it just went on super short. But because there was, you know, more to come that none of us fucking saw coming for a second. And I was like, wow, that was super short. Like, there's still 20 minutes left. We already defeated the villain. I didn't like the whole, well, now Bo-Katan has to fight Mandalorian. And Mandalorian's like, I don't care. I yield. Take it. He just wanted the kid. That's literally all he wanted. He just wanted Grogu. And I was siding with that. I was glad that they weren't writing Mandalorian to be like, well, the creed. And I must fight because I must reign throne. No, he's just like, this kid means more to me than anything. I fucking love that. They humanize him. They're making him a human being, not just some robot in the fucking Mandalorian creed. And it seemed like Bo-Katan's a little skeptical about that too, but you know, apparently she feels like this is her destiny, from what I've heard. So, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And now, here we are, to the big shit. When they were looking at the security footage, and you see someone dressed in the robe. At first, I thought, I was like, oh, Ahsoka's back. Because I thought I saw the double lightsabers. And then saw it was only one. I was like, what the fuck? As soon as I saw that green lightsaber, and the all-black attire, and the one glove, it's fucking Luke Skywalker. And it was awesome. One of the most badass character entrances in any Star Wars. It's up there with Darth Vader in Rogue One. Like, that's just fucking... I was cheering. I literally cheered. I was watching this. I was like, fuck yeah! Oh my god, it was some of the coolest shit. I couldn't believe it was actually happening too. That, like, we are seeing Luke Skywalker for how us Star Wars fans deserve to see Luke Skywalker, not how they fucking did him in the sequel trilogies. Just, it felt like it was Anakin Skywalker's kid. Like, he wasn't just going in there. No, he was actually, it looked like he was putting in the effort. And just the fighting combat that he was doing and the force grips and all of it, it felt so authentic of this character. It didn't feel like how the fight between Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Revenge of the Sith feels a little... It's a cool fight, don't get me wrong, I fucking love it. It's one of my favorite lightsaber fights. It feels a little choreographed, though. It feels like kind of like a dance recital. Whereas, in this he's just fighting dark troopers. Luke Skywalker's just fighting dark troopers, but it felt more real of the character. That he was putting his all into saving Grogu. And when he stepped in, I mean, we all thought it was going to be Sebastian Stan, and it wasn't. But when he took off that hood, he looked really good for a second. It was when he started talking, the CGI, it looks, yes. We all know the CGI doesn't look great. It's like Leia in Rogue One. It just doesn't match up. It was odd when he was talking. The voice sounded really good, though. And, I brushed it off again. I was like, you know what? Fine, fuck it, strike it out, I don't care, because this is such a great moment right here. When, he was like, come with me, little one, and, we all knew where this was going as soon as Luke showed up, because Grogu was calling for a Jedi, and, yeah, a lot of people, I know there's a lot of discussions, like, who's looking for Grogu? Is it Cal? Is it Mace Windu? Is it yada yada, like a bunch of other people from Clone Wars and Rebels that I don't know. And I was just like, Luke Skywalker exists in where the Mandalorian is. How can someone be more powerful than him right now? There isn't. There isn't a more powerful Jedi. This is literally not too long after Return of the Jedi. It was perfect like that. Like, you had to bring in the strongest Jedi and one of the most popular Star Wars characters ever to save another popular Star Wars character. Yeah, I know you guys heard that too. I just got texts about my data. I don't give a fuck. Don't interrupt me. And not gonna lie, because I knew where this was going, and it was just... It went from me being excited and ecstatic, like, fuck yes, I'm so happy this is happening. And then also, it got really sad when we knew that Grogu had to say goodbye to Mandalorian. And I literally, I teared up and I cried during this part. I really fucking did, because I love that relationship between Grogu and Mandalorian. And I'm not like, I feel like I'm about to tear up right now just from talking about it. I mean, because I just watched it last night, but my God, it was just such a beautiful moment. And very heartbreaking at the same time, because you know that this Mandalorian character, Dane, was all by the book and all about the Creed throughout this whole fucking show. Just these 2 seasons. He's all about, doing his bounties, getting his money. As soon as he met Grogu, that all changed. You know it. Because if he really did care that much about the Creed, he would have killed Baby Yoda in that first episode when he found him. And he didn't. And that really showed something. That just character development. So I mean, the show's doing it right. This is one of the best fucking TV series out there right now. Modern TV shows. And, as far as Star Wars content, it's fucking brilliant. It's the best to come out since probably Return of the Jedi. Or maybe even, I guess, Revenge of the Sith, because I really do enjoy that movie. But I think Mandalorian might even surpass that. And that was just it was really sad seeing that goodbye between Grogu and Mando. And, it was for the best. And then R2 came out, and I cheered again. I went from happy to sad to happy again to oh my God, this was fucking brilliant. Literally, said out loud, I was like, I can't believe I'm fucking crying over this shit, dude. Like, cause it was just so well done. As a film lover, as a lover of film and TV, and like how things are directed and written, and Star Wars in general, as a big fucking Star Wars kid growing up, it delivered everything I wanted, and just the send-off to that character who I don't want to see leave the show. And I am going to talk about what I think could happen in a second. I just want to wrap up my thoughts on this finale. It's just truly amazing. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni need to take on the Star Wars franchise. Alright, so that is, that's my breakdown of that, my little 2 cents into that. What I think is going to happen is, because I know there's the whole thing, I didn't even think about this till I started watching videos and reading comments, because I was very indulged into this episode and watched a lot of shit last night. And I didn't think about the fact that, well, Grogu needs to be dead because Kylo Ren burnt down that class, that school that Luke was teaching all these like young ones into becoming Jedi. And Ben Solo has to kill Grogu because, that's just the fucking canon. And I don't think they're going to do that. That's the thing. Like, this is still a long time till The Last Jedi, and even before that event in The Last Jedi, to where we don't know where this is going to go. I think he could show up in the Ahsoka series, Grogu and Luke. I think Luke could finally see Ahsoka and tell him, like, hey, your trainer turned good. I turned him good. There's still hope. Something like that, and then Grogu stick around with Ahsoka. We definitely did not see the last of Grogu. We definitely did not see the last of Grogu because he's such a fan favorite, and, they just fucking exceeded his character arc that we have to see where that goes. It's not just left up to interpretation. Or in Season 3 or Season 4 Mandalorian at a finale, because he's going to be away for a little bit. He has to be. Like, we got to let Mandalorian do his own thing. I think Grogu is going to show back up. And Mando did tell Grogu right before he handed him to Luke, saying, I will see you again, I promise. They're going to live up to that. And what I think is, there's going to be some major battle going on with Mandalorian and whoever the fuck. And he's going to get in a pickle to where he cannot get himself out of it. And Grogu and possibly even Luke just show up and save the day. And Grogu at this point is a fully trained Jedi. Could be a time lapse, it could be a time jump into whenever. But yeah, I think something like that's going to happen. I think we're definitely going to see these two reunite again. We're definitely going to see Grogu again. I'm not sure about Luke. That felt like a one-time thing, and I'm okay if that's the case. But we're going to see more Grogu. And they're not going to kill Grogu like that because that is Disney's suicide. The second Disney pulls that move, people will be like, all right, fuck Star Wars again. They know that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are saving this franchise. Mandalorian is their gem. They're not going to make that stupid move and kill Grogu. They're not going to. People literally are probably watching Mandalorian, not even for the story, just to see Grogu's face. So there's no way Disney is going to pull that move and kill Grogu like that. I know technically, yeah, that's the story. But, there's so much that can happen in between to where Grogu can be out of that situation. Maybe he isn't meant for it and Luke brings him back. I doubt that's going to happen. But, it's just an example. It doesn't mean that, oh, well, he's with Luke now. Grogu's fucked. No, I'm not buying it. They're not going to do that. Disney's not that stupid. All right, man. No. They have done some stupid stuff. But you know what I mean. This show is just, God, it's truly amazing. I didn't feel this way at the end of the season finale of the first season. I was like, this is a really cool show, and I like what they're doing. Can't wait to see where this goes. I really enjoyed it. But now, after this season, I love the show. It's one of my favorite shows, and it's probably my favorite modern TV show. I couldn't wait for every episode. I couldn't wait for every week, and then I'd be like, oh my God, it's Friday. Mandalorian's out. I was just so excited. This is perfect. And although like the little minor flaws I have, I kind of brush them off. I am going to give The Mandalorian Season 2 a 4.5 out of 5 stars just for some of those little flaws. I think, and the little flaws, very, very little. And if I could I wouldn't even like give it a 4.5. I would just like take off the little wing right there. Like that's all I'd take off if I could. But no, I'll give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I would wish for longer episodes. I think more episodes too. If you're gonna do 8 episodes, I wouldn't mind them all being an hour long each. If you're gonna keep them 40 minutes, maybe do 12 episodes. You know, I mean, I'd like to see more, and I'm sure some of us would. Even though the pacing is perfect, and I wish stakes can be a little bit higher. But other than that, this show's amazing. It is the best thing for Star Wars come out. I can't wait for the book of Boba Fett with that post-credit scene with Boba Fett at the end, and he gets to continue on his journey, and he did great in Mandalorian. Now he gets to have his own story. I can't wait to see where that goes. Ahsoka series, I wonder if Luke and Grogu are going to show back up in that. When they're going to show up, I don't know. Like I said, my mind's going in a million directions, and I already kind of dove deep into all that stuff. And thank you, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, for saving this franchise and giving the fans what we want. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, truly amazing show. Please comment below on your thoughts of Season 2, what you thought of the finale, what you think is going to happen in the Star Wars universe yet to come. I have a million questions. Please comment below. I would really love to hear from you guys. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.